You were never meant to struggle for money because wealth obeys energy, not effort. This audiobook reveals the forgotten laws that govern abundance, passed down by mystics and masters through the ages. Align with these truths and watch the universe respond in kind. Wealth obeys energy. Introduction. Across the ages, a hidden current of truth has whispered through sacred temples, ancient scrolls, and the hearts of the awakened. Wealth is not earned by force, but summoned through harmony with the unseen. It is not the grasping hand, but the attuned soul that opens the gates of abundance. Guarded by sages and passed down in hushed tones, this wisdom reveals a secret long veiled to the masses. Prosperity is the echo of your inner frequency, a reflection of your spiritual alignment. The material world is but a mirror, and money in its purest essence is condensed energy responding to vibration, not effort. The universe, governed by eternal laws, dances in perfect order. As surely as night follows day and the tides obey the moon, so too does wealth obey energy. It does not respond to urgency or struggle, but to the still powerful current of resonance that flows from within you. Now you arrive at the threshold of revelation. Before you lies the sacred path once walked by kings, mystics, and visionaries. Souls who understood that gold follows spirit, not the other way around. This knowledge, hidden in plain sight, has awaited your readiness. When you shift your energy, the outer world will shift to reflect it. This is the hidden law behind all manifestations. Release the illusion of lack, for the truth is this: abundance is your natural state, and the time to remember it is now. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. Awakening to the Energetic Nature of Wealth. Chapter 1. The Great Illusion of Material Scarcity. In ancient times, a traveler named Thomas journeyed across the vast desert, his water supplies dwindling with each step. For days he trudged through burning sands, his throat parched, his vision blurring. What Thomas didn't realize was that mere feet beneath his weary steps flowed an immense underground river, a limitless source of pure, life-giving water. He perished within reach of abundance, separated only by a thin layer of sand and his own unawareness. The physical universe exists as an ocean of infinite supply. Every atom contains enormous potential energy, and the space between atoms teems with quantum possibilities. Modern physics has unveiled what mystics have always known, that the material world is but a small fraction of what exists. The apparent solidity of matter is an illusion. At its core, reality is pure energy, boundless and ever-flowing. Your perception of scarcity is a mirage, much like the seemingly barren desert above Thomas's underground river. This illusion is maintained by collective human belief, reinforced through generations of limited thinking. Yet beneath these artificial constraints lies an unlimited wellspring of abundance, waiting to be recognized and received. Consider Elizabeth, a young woman who inherited a dusty box of papers from her grandmother. For months, the box sat unopened in her attic, deemed worthless and forgotten. When Elizabeth finally examined its contents, she discovered stock certificates from long-ago investments, now worth millions. The wealth had always been there, existing simultaneously with her perceived financial struggles. Her transformation occurred not through gaining something new, but through recognizing what was already present. The Abundance Vision Quest. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, allowing your awareness to settle into your body. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, open space under a brilliant sky. Feel the energy of the universe pulsing around you, through you. With each breath, sense the invisible currents of abundance flowing in all directions. Just as air surrounds you always, recognize that prosperity encompasses you completely. Feel it seeping into your cells, awakening your consciousness to its endless presence. Extend your hands, palms up, and experience the sensation of infinite supply pouring through you like a golden light. Know that this energy has always been here, as close as your own heartbeat. Let this knowing settle into your bones, programming your entire being to recognize and resonate with the abundance that perpetually surrounds you. Chapter 2: The Forgotten Wisdom of Energy Exchange. In the ancient city of Babylon, where the hanging gardens whispered secrets to those who listened, lived a merchant named William. Though skilled in trade, he yearned to understand why some merchants prospered while others faltered despite equal effort. One night, drawn by an inexplicable force, he wandered into the temple district, where a loose stone revealed a clay tablet inscribed with curious symbols. The tablet spoke of wealth not as coins or goods, but as flowing energy, what the priests called the breath of life. This sacred knowledge revealed that money was merely a physical symbol, a crystallized form of the same vital force that made flowers bloom and rivers flow. The priests understood that true abundance came not from hoarding metal and gems, but from becoming a pure channel through which this divine energy could flow. Just as water follows the path of least resistance, wealth flows toward those who align with its energetic nature. The wealthiest souls throughout history, from ancient Egyptian temple keepers to Renaissance patrons, understood this fundamental truth. They did not clutch at riches, but instead learned to conduct this sacred energy, becoming living conduits of abundance. A modern reflection of this wisdom appears in Caroline's tale. For years, she painted beautiful works, yet struggled to sell them, focusing intensely on pricing and marketing. Everything changed when she discovered an old master's teaching about infusing artwork with pure creative energy. She began pouring her whole spirit into each brushstroke, releasing all concern about monetary return. Within weeks, collectors began appearing at her studio, drawn by an inexplicable magnetism in her new works. They competed to acquire pieces that now seemed to pulse with living energy. The ancient tablet and Caroline's story illuminate the same truth. Wealth flows not toward those who chase it, but through those who understand its true nature as living energy. To begin transforming your relationship with money's energetic essence, practice this sacred exchange ritual. Take a coin or bill in your hands. Close your eyes and feel beyond its physical form. Sense the invisible current of energy flowing through it, the countless exchanges, hopes, and intentions it has carried. Now infuse it with your own energy of abundance. Visualize it glowing with golden light. Program it with the clear intention that it will multiply and circulate, bringing prosperity to all it touches. Finally, release it back into the world through a meaningful purchase or as a gift, knowing you have initiated a new cycle in the eternal flow of abundance. Chapter 3: Your Energetic Inheritance. A humble candlemaker named Henry toiled endlessly in his workshop, barely earning enough to survive. Each morning he would wake before dawn, crafting his wares with trembling hands stained by years of labor. Yet everything changed when a mysterious messenger arrived with news that would shatter his understanding of reality. Henry was the sole heir to one of the kingdom's greatest fortunes, left by a grandfather he had never known. This tale mirrors your own position in the cosmic order. You arrived in this world carrying an energetic inheritance, far greater than any earthly fortune. Within your spiritual DNA lies a divine template of unlimited abundance, a birthright of prosperity that has been yours since the moment of your creation. Yet this innate wealth-attracting power becomes clouded, much like a pure stream muddied by fallen leaves. From your earliest moments, you absorbed limiting beliefs about money and worth from your family, culture, and society. These acquired patterns formed invisible barriers in your energy field, creating resistance to the very abundance that rightfully belongs to you. Each time you heard "money doesn't grow on trees" or "we can't afford that," these phrases became energetic imprints, distorting your natural prosperity. Like a radio signal disrupted by interference, these inherited beliefs block the frequency of abundance that seeks to reach you. Consider Margaret, a seamstress who discovered an ancient medallion while sorting through her grandmother's belongings. Upon wearing it, she found herself guided to remarkable opportunities, a chance meeting leading to a lucrative contract, an overlooked investment that multiplied unexpectedly. The medallion didn't create these possibilities. It simply awakened Margaret's dormant awareness of the abundance already surrounding her. Your transformation begins with the ancestral clearing ceremony. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and envision yourself standing before a vast gathering of your ancestors, both those of blood and spirit. See their faces, some bearing the weight of struggle, others radiating the light of prosperity. Speak these words aloud. I honor the journey that brought me here. I release all patterns of lack, struggle, and unworthiness that do not serve my highest good. I reclaim my divine inheritance of abundance. Now visualize golden light flowing from your ancestral line, carrying the pure codes of prosperity that are your true legacy. Feel this energy integrating with every cell of your being. Complete this ceremony by writing in your own hand, I, your name, hereby claim my energetic birthright of unlimited abundance. As it was in the beginning, so it shall be again. Chapter 4. The Inner Treasury. In a distant land, a man named James spent decades following maps and rumors of buried riches. He crossed scorching deserts, scaled treacherous mountains, and braved dense jungles in his relentless pursuit of fortune. After years of fruitless searching, he returned home defeated, his dreams of wealth seemingly shattered. As he sat in his garden, contemplating his failed quest, his spade struck something hard. Upon investigation, he discovered his modest property sat atop the largest diamond deposit ever found in the region. This truth mirrors your own search for abundance. Like James, you may look to the horizons of your life, seeking wealth through endless strategies, investments, and opportunities. Yet the greatest source of prosperity lies not in distant ventures, but in the untapped depths of your own consciousness. Within you resides a limitless wellspring of abundance, a direct channel to the universal field of infinite supply. This inner treasury transcends physical currency, existing as pure potential waiting to be recognized and expressed. Just as every seed contains the blueprint of an entire forest, your consciousness holds the template for unlimited prosperity. Those who have amassed great fortunes throughout history understood this fundamental principle. External wealth simply reflects what has been awakened within. They learned to access their internal reservoir of abundance consciousness first, allowing material manifestations to follow naturally. Consider Eleanor, who inherited a simple locket from her grandmother. Inside, she found what appeared to be an ordinary map. Yet, as she studied its intricate markings, she realized it revealed secret passages within her own home. Following its guidance, she discovered a hidden chamber filled with priceless family heirlooms, treasures that had been within arm's reach all along. Your journey to lasting abundance begins with accessing your own inner vault. Through this ancient practice, you will forge a direct connection to your internal source of unlimited supply. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Breathe deeply as you visualize descending a grand staircase within your mind. With each step, feel yourself going deeper into your consciousness. At the bottom, you encounter a long corridor illuminated by eternal flames. As you walk this corridor, notice the walls adorned with symbols of abundance from all cultures and ages. At its end stands a magnificent door, marked with your unique spiritual signature, a pattern that could only belong to you. Place your hand upon this door and feel it recognize your energy. As it opens, enter your personal chamber of infinite supply. Here, pure potential swirls as golden light. Choose or create a symbol that represents this inner treasury, perhaps a key, a jewel, or a sacred geometry pattern. Let this symbol become anchored in your awareness, a trigger you can recall instantly to reconnect with your internal source of abundance. Chapter 5: The Vibrational Language of Money. In the heart of an ancient city, a young musician named Samuel dedicated his life to mastering his craft. His compositions followed every rule of harmony and structure with mathematical precision, yet audiences remained unmoved by his performances. Night after night, he watched as simpler musicians stirred souls and received generous patronage, while his technical masterpieces earned only polite applause. One evening, an old master heard Samuel play and approached him afterward. "You speak the language of music perfectly," the master observed, "but you have not yet learned its soul." He guided Samuel to an empty concert hall and asked him to play a single note. "Now feel the invisible threads that connect this note to the universe," the master whispered. "Music, like wealth itself, flows not through perfection, but through resonance." This wisdom echoes through the chambers of abundance. Just as Samuel discovered that technical mastery alone cannot move hearts, your precise financial strategies and careful planning may fail to attract wealth when they lack proper energetic alignment. The universe responds not to your actions, but to your frequency, the invisible vibration generated by your deepest beliefs and emotions about abundance. Your thoughts and feelings create waves of energy that ripple through the quantum field, attracting or repelling prosperity with perfect precision. When your conscious desires for wealth clash with subconscious beliefs about money, you broadcast conflicting frequencies that cancel each other out. This explains why affirmations often fall flat. The words may speak of abundance, while your emotional undertone whispers of scarcity. In the second tale, a woman named Josephine inherited a peculiar music box from her grandmother. The box appeared unremarkable, its melody simple and sweet. Yet she noticed that when she played it while feeling deep gratitude and joy, unexpected opportunities would mysteriously appear. A chance meeting would lead to a valuable contract, or a forgotten investment would suddenly yield returns. The music box's true power lay not in its mechanism, but in its ability to align Josephine's inner state with the frequency of abundance. The prosperity tuning fork exercise invites you to find your own resonance with wealth. Begin by sitting in silence, eyes closed. Take 3 deep breaths and then create a pure tone with your voice. Ah, holding it steady while visualizing golden light flowing through your body. As you sustain the note, imagine your cells vibrating in perfect harmony with universal abundance. Now, slowly raise your right hand, palm facing upward, and let your voice naturally find the tone that makes your entire being feel expansive and prosperous. This gesture, combined with this specific tone and feeling, becomes your personal frequency key, a way to instantly attune yourself to the vibration of wealth whenever you choose to activate it. Chapter 6. Dissolving the Ancestral Chains of Lack. In the fertile valleys of an ancient land, Franklin toiled endlessly on his inherited farm, perplexed by its stubbornly poor yields despite his faithful adherence to every agricultural practice passed down through generations. The soil was rich, the rains came in season, yet abundance seemed to elude his fields like a reluctant visitor. One day, while digging deeper than usual to plant a new orchard, his spade struck metal. Unearthing the mysterious object, he discovered ancient iron shackles, their rusty forms still bearing the weight of untold suffering. As he continued to dig, more chains emerged, revealing that his prosperous-looking land had once been a place of bondage. An elder in the village, seeing the unearthed shackles, shared a forgotten truth. The land remembers. Its bounty remains chained by the echoes of past suffering until those bonds are consciously broken. This truth resonates beyond mere farmland. Your financial reality carries similar unseen restraints, energetic shackles forged in the consciousness of your ancestors and passed down through the subtle realms of your being. These invisible bonds manifest as persistent patterns, the inability to surpass certain income levels, mysterious losses just when abundance seems within reach, or deep-seated fears about wealth that defy logical explanation. Victoria's tale mirrors this truth. A gifted healer, she found herself inexplicably turning away clients and undercharging for her services despite her exceptional abilities. While clearing her grandmother's attic, she discovered a yellowed document, a solemn vow taken by her great-great-grandmother, pledging material poverty in exchange for spiritual gifts. This long-forgotten contract had cast its shadow through generations, creating an unconscious choice between spiritual wealth and material abundance. The moment Victoria understood this, she felt a deep stirring in her soul. In a sacred ceremony, she burned the contract while declaring a new truth, that spiritual gifts and material abundance could flow together in divine harmony. Within months, her practice flourished beyond anything she had previously allowed herself to experience. Like Victoria, you carry energetic agreements made by those who came before you. Perhaps your ancestors survived persecution by learning to remain invisible, their survival strategy now manifesting as your reluctance to stand out or claim your worth. Or maybe, like Franklin's land, your prosperity feels shackled by the weight of past struggles, waiting for you to break those bonds and liberate the natural flow of abundance. Chapter 7. The Alchemy of Financial Transformation. In a time beyond memory, Albert labored in his modest workshop, shaping metal with skilled hands, yet feeling empty despite his mastery. One evening, as flames danced in his forge, he discovered a weathered manuscript hidden within an ancient anvil. Its chapters spoke not of mere metalwork, but of a deeper transformation, the art of transmuting the very essence of being. The mysteries contained within those chapters reveal a truth known to masters across the ages. The transformation of base metals into gold was merely a symbol for the elevation of consciousness from scarcity to abundance. Just as lead becomes gold through precise alchemical processes, your consciousness can undergo a similar transformation. This sacred science teaches that 4 elements exist within your being: the earth of your physical habits, the water of your emotions, the air of your thoughts, and the fire of your spirit. Each must be purified and aligned to create the perfect conditions for prosperity to flow. When these elements remain in their raw state, they manifest as doubt, fear, limitation, and resistance, the base metals of consciousness. Through the alchemical process, you learn to recognize these elements within yourself. The earth element represents your material beliefs about money, The water reflects your emotional relationship with abundance, the air symbolizes your thoughts about prosperity, and the fire embodies your spiritual connection to universal supply. The ancient manuscript revealed how masters throughout time maintained their wealth not through external efforts alone, but through inner alchemy. They understood that outer abundance naturally follows inner transmutation. This wisdom was hidden in plain sight, encoded in symbols and metaphors, waiting for those ready to grasp its deeper meaning. Beatrice's tale mirrors this truth. Upon receiving a peculiar brass device from her grandmother, she initially saw only an odd collection of tubes and vessels. Yet as she studied its workings, she discovered it was an instrument for energetic transformation. Each chamber corresponded to a level of consciousness, and by learning to direct energy through this system, she transformed ordinary moments into extraordinary possibilities. A chance meeting became a valuable connection. A small idea grew into a prosperous venture. The Philosopher's Stone process now offers you the same transformative power. Begin by identifying a limiting belief about wealth that has persisted in your consciousness. Over 4 days, subject this belief to the alchemical operations. First, dissolve its power by fully acknowledging its presence. Second, purify its energy by understanding its original protective purpose. Third, elevate its frequency by reimagining its positive intention. Finally, crystallize a new prosperity truth in its place through focused meditation and declaration. Record each phase in your alchemical journal, noting the subtle shifts in your perception and experience as you transmute the base metals of scarcity into the gold of abundance consciousness. Chapter 8. The Sacred Contract with Prosperity. In the heart of an ancient marketplace, Frederick moved among the bustling stalls, his eyes drawn to a weathered archway he had never noticed before. Following an inexplicable pull, he discovered a hidden temple where golden light filtered through crystalline windows, illuminating walls inscribed with mysterious symbols. Here, Frederick witnessed initiates participating in sacred ceremonies, forming unbreakable bonds with the universal source of abundance. Each initiate offered specific commitments. Some pledged to circulate wealth freely, others to serve as channels of prosperity for their communities. In return, they received an unwavering flow of abundance that defied ordinary explanation. This ancient wisdom unveils a fundamental truth. Wealth operates through cosmic contracts, responding to the energetic agreements you have established, knowingly or unknowingly, with the universal forces of abundance. These agreements shape the very fabric of your financial reality, creating the parameters through which prosperity can flow into your life. Just as a river follows the path carved into the earth, abundance follows the channels defined by your energetic contracts. The limitations you experience arise not from external circumstances, but from restrictive agreements formed through past experiences, inherited beliefs, and unconscious vows. The temple's sacred texts revealed precise protocols for dissolving these limiting contracts and establishing new covenants with the infinite source of supply. These protocols require not complex rituals, but rather clear intention, unwavering commitment, and energetic alignment with the universal laws of prosperity. In another time, Martha uncovered a mysterious document among her grandfather's possessions. The parchment bore his signature alongside ancient symbols of abundance, a contract with universal forces she didn't yet understand. Guided by intuition, she added her name below his. Within days, opportunities began manifesting with mysterious precision. A chance meeting led to a lucrative partnership. A forgotten investment yielded unexpected returns, and resources appeared precisely when needed. The Prosperity Covenant ceremony now offers you the same transformative power. In sacred space, create a formal declaration specifying your commitments to the universal flow of abundance. Detail how you will express gratitude, maintain the circulation of wealth, and serve others through your prosperity. Then articulate what you are ready to receive, whether it be financial abundance, valuable opportunities, or material resources. Sign this covenant while in a state of heightened awareness, feeling the full weight of this energetic agreement. Place your signed declaration in a special location, perhaps on a personal altar or sacred space, where you can renew your commitment daily, strengthening the energetic bonds of this divine contract with each acknowledgement. Chapter 9. The Mystical Mathematics of Giving. In a land where the soil cracked beneath the merciless sun, George watched his crops wither, each day bringing his farm closer to ruin. The drought had stretched beyond memory, turning the earth to dust and hope to despair. When all seemed lost, an elder appeared at his gate, his eyes holding ancient wisdom. "Pour your last water into the earth," the elder instructed, pointing to George's final precious jug. "But that's all I have left," George protested. "What you clutch tightly can never multiply," the elder replied softly. With trembling hands, George took his last water and, following the elder's guidance, poured it into the parched ground as an offering to the earth itself. Before nightfall, clouds gathered from nowhere, bringing life-giving rain that continued for days, saving not only his farm but the entire region. The universe operates through sacred mathematics that transcend human logic. Just as a seed must be planted, given to the earth before it can multiply into a harvest, abundance follows the divine law of circulation. This eternal principle reveals that giving precedes receiving, not as mere transaction, but as cosmic law. When you give from a place of fear or expectation, calculating return, you create energetic resistance that blocks the natural flow of increase. But when giving flows from authentic generosity, aligned with the universal current of abundance, you activate forces beyond mortal comprehension. Consider Catherine, who felt mysteriously drawn to an ancient well in her village. Following an inner prompting, she began leaving coins there each morning, performing this ritual in secret, without desire for recognition or return. Unknown to her, each coin offered with pure intent set invisible forces in motion. Her business began thriving, unexpected checks arrived, and opportunities materialized as if by magic, each blessing multiplied in precise proportion to her offerings. This mirrors the eternal truth now awakening within you. Conscious giving creates a vacuum in the spiritual plane that must be filled, often returning tenfold through channels you could never anticipate. Like the farmer who surrenders his last water to the earth, your generous offering opens pathways for divine abundance to flow. The sacred tithing ritual invites you to experience this principle directly. Choose a cause or individual that embodies abundance to you. Begin giving a percentage of your income, starting wherever feels authentic with ceremonial consciousness. Maintain a private journal recording not just your offerings, but the energy and intention behind each gift. Watch and wonder as the universe responds through unexpected channels, demonstrating the miraculous mathematics of spiritual giving. Chapter 10. The Intuitive Gateway to Opportunity. Edward stood before his trading screens, watching years of wealth evaporate despite his sophisticated analysis and proven formulas. Charts, patterns, and data had guided his success for decades, yet now seemed as meaningful as scattered leaves in the wind. In his darkest hour, a silver-haired woman appeared at his office, her presence commanding yet serene. "You see only shadows on the wall," she said, gesturing to his screens. "The true patterns exist in a realm beyond sight." Under her guidance, Edward learned to silence his analytical mind and attune to subtle energetic currents flowing through markets. He discovered that wealth moves according to invisible rhythms that no algorithm can capture. Within months, his fortune not only restored but multiplied as he followed this deeper knowing. The rational mind, with its endless calculations and projections, can only process what has already manifested in the material realm. Yet true abundance flows first through ethereal channels, announcing its movement through whispered intuitions and bodily sensations that precede physical events. This explains why many of history's wealthiest individuals attribute their success not to careful analysis, but to unexplainable certainty that guided their choices. You must learn to distinguish between fear masquerading as intuition and authentic guidance from your higher prosperity consciousness. Fear speaks through nervous tension and urgent pressure, while true intuition arrives as calm knowing accompanied by expansive peace regardless of external circumstances. Harriet found her grandmother's leather-bound journal in an old trunk, its chapters filled not with market predictions or business plans, but with curious instructions for sensing the invisible tides of opportunity. Following these methods, she discovered she could feel approaching abundance as clearly as one feels an approaching storm. This led her to investments and partnerships that transformed her modest savings into remarkable wealth, all by trusting sensations that defied logical explanation. The prosperity divination practice will help you develop this subtle sensing. Select a simple tool, coins, cards, or a pendulum, to serve as a bridge between your conscious and intuitive mind. Each morning, hold your chosen instrument while centering yourself in deep stillness. Ask specific questions about current opportunities or decisions, noting not the traditional meanings of your tool, but the subtle feelings and impressions that arise as you use it. Record these intuitions in a dedicated journal, tracking how they correlate with actual events as they unfold. This practice gradually attunes your awareness to the whispered guidance of your prosperity consciousness, teaching you to trust the knowing that transcends logic. Part 2, Deepening the Energetic Alignment with Wealth. Chapter 11, The Subtle Architecture of Wealthy Consciousness. Walter stood before his latest architectural creation, a building technically perfect in every measure, yet somehow devoid of life. Despite his mastery of modern principles, his structures felt like empty shells, missing an essential vitality he couldn't name. One evening, as shadows lengthened across his drafting table, an elder with eyes that held ancient wisdom appeared in his studio. Without a word, the sage began drawing intricate geometric patterns across Walter's blueprints. "These are the veins through which life force flows," the elder explained, revealing how sacred proportions create channels for energy to move harmoniously through physical space. "Your buildings lack this invisible architecture, just as most minds lack the proper framework for abundance. The mental structures through which prosperity flows follow precise geometric principles. Like a building's foundation determines what can be built upon it, your thought patterns create the energetic infrastructure that either welcomes or restricts the flow of abundance. Those who struggle financially often possess cramped mental architecture, narrow corridors of possibility, low ceilings of expectation, and blocked pathways of receiving. The truly prosperous maintain expansive internal frameworks with soaring archways of possibility and open chambers that welcome abundance's natural flow. Lillian discovered this truth when she inherited a curious set of blueprints from her great-aunt. The drawings seemed ordinary at first glance, yet contained strange symbols and proportions she'd never encountered. Following an inner knowing, she used these plans to reorganize her modest apartment. As she aligned her space with these ancient principles, remarkable shifts occurred. Business opportunities appeared unexpectedly. Investments yielded unprecedented returns. Her entire financial reality transformed as though the very geometry of her life had been rewritten. You too possess an internal architecture that governs your relationship with wealth. Through the Prosperity Blueprint meditation, you will enter the structure of your current financial consciousness. Visualize yourself walking through this inner building, noting where ceilings hang too low, where walls constrict flow, where foundations show cracks of doubt. Now, guided by higher wisdom, begin redesigning this template. Create vast chambers for receiving abundance, reinforced foundations of unshakable belief, and clear pathways for energy to circulate freely. Return daily to this inner sanctuary, strengthening and refining its sacred proportions until this expanded architecture becomes your natural dwelling place in consciousness. Chapter 12. Dissolving the Veil Between Worlds. In the misty hours before sunrise, Robert made his way through narrow streets to the ancient marketplace he'd heard whispered of in legends. As first light touched the horizon, an extraordinary sight unfolded. The familiar market square transformed, revealing a shimmering dimension where every physical transaction mirrored an unseen exchange of energy. He watched in wonder as merchants and customers moved through their morning trade, each coin and commodity surrounded by swirling patterns of light. A wise woman, noting his awakened vision, explained, "What you witness is the true nature of exchange. The coins and goods are but shadows of the energy flowing between souls." This veiled marketplace reveals a truth long hidden from human understanding. There exists no true separation between spiritual and material realms. Religious teachings have placed the divine in distant heavens, while science has confined reality to the measurable physical plane. Both perspectives maintain an artificial divide that prevents you from recognizing the continuous flow between seen and unseen dimensions. All manifestation begins in the subtle realms before crystallizing into physical form. Your material circumstances, from the coins in your purse to the opportunities that appear before you, first exist as energetic templates in the unseen dimensions. The wealthy ones throughout history understood this secret, that fortune is built by consciously participating in this manifestation process, from its ethereal inception through to its physical completion. Dorothy stumbled upon this wisdom through an unusual mirror inherited from her grandmother. Unlike ordinary looking glasses, this one revealed not her physical reflection, but the luminous patterns of energy that preceded her material reality. She discovered that by focusing her attention on these subtle templates and consciously shifting their arrangement, her external circumstances would transform to match the adjusted patterns. Through this mysterious mirror, Dorothy learned to perceive wealth not as solid and fixed, but as flowing light, taking temporary physical form. When financial challenges arose, she would consult the mirror, adjusting the energetic template until harmony was restored in both seen and unseen realms. To assist your own journey between dimensions, you will engage in the veil-thinning ritual. Select a doorway in your home to serve as your personal gateway between realms. Stand before this threshold and declare it sacred, a point where visible and invisible dimensions meet. Each time you pass through, do so with conscious awareness, experiencing the dissolution of all separation. Declare specific forms of abundance complete in the energetic realm, knowing they now flow into physical manifestation through your expanded awareness. Chapter 13. The Timeless Realm Where Wealth is Born. In his small workshop filled with the gentle rhythm of ticking clocks, Harold discovered an unusual timepiece among his grandfather's collection. Unlike ordinary watches, this one behaved in extraordinary ways. When worn by those consumed with worry about the future, its hands moved frantically fast. For those dwelling in past regrets, they crept backward. But when the wearer rested in perfect presence, the hands moved in a harmonious dance, sometimes even stopping completely as if suspended in eternal now. The mysteries of time and manifestation intertwine in ways your linear mind cannot grasp. Wealth flows not through the rigid channels of chronological time, but through the fluid dimensions of consciousness. Your future prosperity already exists, pulling you toward its realization, while the echoes of past choices continue shaping your energetic field. When you release your grip on when abundance must arrive, you open yourself to the perfect orchestration of universal timing. Those who accumulate great wealth often speak of unexpected windfalls and opportunities appearing at precisely the right moment, not through careful planning, but through alignment with divine timing. Your attachment to specific timelines creates resistance in the manifestation process. By demanding that abundance arrive according to your schedule, you unknowingly push it away. The universe operates through infinite intelligence that far exceeds your limited perspective of proper timing. Evelyn understood this truth only after discovering a leather-bound journal in her grandmother's attic. When she wrote her desires as though already fulfilled, without attachment to when they must manifest, remarkable shifts began occurring. Business opportunities appeared spontaneously, unexpected inheritances surfaced, and resources flowed from unforeseen sources. Yet she noticed that whenever she grew impatient or demanded specific timing, the manifestations would mysteriously delay. Through this mystical journal, Evelyn learned to dance with divine timing, holding her intentions with clarity while surrendering their schedule of arrival to higher wisdom. She discovered that true manifestation power emerges when you step outside the illusion of linear time and into the eternal now, where all possibilities already exist. To help you master this delicate dance with time, you will practice the quantum prosperity journaling ritual. Create 3 distinct entries in your manifestation journal. First, write as your future self who has already achieved magnificent abundance, expressing deep gratitude for specific manifestations. Next, describe your present experience as these prosperities unfold in your life right now. Finally, acknowledge the past choices and decisions that made this abundance inevitable. Through this practice, you collapse the artificial boundaries of time that have limited your manifestation power, allowing wealth to flow to you through divine, perfect timing. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Wealthy Body. Your physical body holds the key to manifesting abundance far more powerfully than your thoughts alone. Within the ancient temples, initiates learned sacred movements that activated specific energy centers, transforming their ability to attract prosperity. This wisdom comes alive through Charles, a gifted athlete who struggled financially despite his mental understanding of wealth principles. Through his intensive training, Charles encountered an elderly master who taught him that true prosperity flows not from the mind, but through the body's sacred channels. The master revealed how specific postures and movements could activate the body's natural abundance receptors, explaining that just as athletes train their muscles for peak performance, one must train the physical vessel to conduct prosperity energy. Your body serves as the primary antenna for attracting universal abundance. When your physical form remains locked in patterns of tension, contraction, and survival postures, it creates an energetic barrier, that no amount of positive thinking can overcome. The wisdom traditions have always known that lasting transformation requires embodiment, the integration of spiritual truth into cellular memory. Through dedicated practice, Charles discovered that certain movements opened energetic pathways that had been dormant his entire life. As he mastered these physical protocols, opportunities began flowing toward him with surprising ease. His body had become a natural conductor of prosperity energy, requiring no mental effort to attract abundance. This truth finds further illustration in the tale of Sophia, a scholar of ancient wisdom who could recite prosperity principles perfectly, yet struggled to manifest them. One day, while studying in an old library, she uncovered illustrations depicting mudras, sacred hand positions used by temple priests to channel specific energetic frequencies. Though skeptical at first, Sophia began practicing these precise finger positions daily. Within weeks, she noticed subtle shifts in how opportunities and resources flowed into her life. The mudras had activated dormant circuits in her nervous system, allowing her body to naturally attune to and attract prosperity frequencies. The Prosperity Posture Protocol now offers you the same transformative power. Begin each morning standing tall, feet shoulder-width apart, knees slightly bent. Raise your arms to shoulder height, palms facing upward in receptivity. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, imagining golden light filling your body. Hold this prosperity receptive pose for 4 counts, then exhale for 4 counts while gently circulating your arms in flowing circles. Repeat this sequence 7 times, allowing your body to become a living channel for abundance of energy. Chapter 15, The Secret Chambers of Prosperous Thought. In the depths of an ancient metropolis, Theodore ventured through forgotten passages, his torch illuminating what generations had overlooked. The air grew thick with wisdom as he discovered chamber after chamber, each holding tablets inscribed with teachings from history's greatest prosperity masters. Some bore the marks of Egyptian hierophants, others contained the secret formulas of Persian merchants, while still others revealed the hidden principles of Greek philosophers who had mastered the art of abundance. Within your own consciousness lies a similar network of chambers, each containing profound wisdom about wealth creation that transcends mere surface understanding. Just as Theodore's discovery revealed layers of knowledge preserved through time, your mind houses multiple levels of prosperity consciousness waiting to be accessed. These inner chambers contain understandings far more potent than the thoughts you typically engage. Beyond the familiar corridors of your daily financial thinking exist vast halls of abundance wisdom, sacred spaces where limitation dissolves and true prosperity, consciousness awakens. Each chamber resonates with specific aspects of wealth mastery, some holding the keys to receiving, others containing the codes for exponential growth, still others preserving the sacred geometries of manifestation. Consider Amelia, who found a curious key among her grandmother's possessions. This key, marked with strange symbols, opened not just one door in her ancestral home, but revealed a sequence of hidden rooms. In the first, she discovered journals detailing forgotten wealth principles. The second contained mysterious instruments for measuring invisible energetic currents. Each subsequent chamber unveiled new dimensions of prosperity wisdom that transformed her relationship with abundance. Like Amelia's key, you possess the innate ability to unlock these deeper aspects of your consciousness. Through the chamber activation sequence, you will access these inner sanctuaries of prosperity wisdom. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Visualize a spiral staircase descending into the depths of your mind. As you walk down, notice the first door, golden and inscribed with ancient symbols. This opens to the chamber of receiving, where you'll feel the energy of unlimited abundance flowing through you. Absorb this sensation fully before continuing downward. The next door, crafted of silver, leads to the chamber of worthy identity. Here, experience yourself as naturally deserving of prosperity. Let this truth penetrate every cell of your being. Continue to the copper door of the chamber of exponential vision, where you'll perceive the unlimited potential for growth in every situation. Spend time in each chamber, allowing its unique wisdom to integrate with your consciousness. When ready, ascend the spiral staircase, knowing these inner resources remain accessible whenever you choose to return. Chapter 16. The energetic signature of your offering. In a small village known for its artisans, Benjamin labored each day crafting exquisite pieces that, despite their technical perfection, remained untouched in his workshop. As his frustration mounted, an enigmatic elder appeared at his door. Rather than critiquing Benjamin's technique, the mentor spoke of invisible energies and the art of spiritual infusion. "Your hands shape the material," the elder explained, "but your spirit must shape the energy within it." Under this guidance, Benjamin learned to enter a state of profound alignment before touching his tools, allowing his unique spiritual essence to flow into each creation. Within weeks, customers began appearing as if drawn by an unseen force, claiming they could feel something special emanating from his works. You too possess a unique energetic signature, a vibrational imprint unlike any other in existence. This sacred frequency emerges not from what you do, but from who you are at the deepest level of being. When you align with and express this authentic energy through your work, you activate a magnetic force that naturally attracts prosperity. Consider Rebecca, whose small cafe struggled despite her culinary expertise. While clearing her grandmother's attic, she discovered an old recipe book filled with curious notations. Beyond measurements and ingredients, each recipe contained instructions for channeling specific energetic qualities into the food. "Pour in gratitude with the cream," one page directed. "Stir in joy until it shimmers." Initially skeptical, Rebecca began following these energetic guidelines. She took moments to center herself before cooking, consciously infusing each dish with the qualities described. Soon, customers reported feeling inexplicably uplifted after dining at her cafe. Word spread, and her once empty tables filled with patrons who claimed they could taste the love in her food. Your own path to prosperity lies not in perfecting external techniques, but in expressing your soul's unique vibrational offering. To access this power, engage in the signature energy activation. Find a quiet space and reflect deeply on moments when you felt most authentically yourself while contributing to others. Notice the specific qualities present in these moments. Perhaps it's inspiration, nurturing, clarity, or transformation. This reveals your authentic energetic signature. Before beginning any work, stand tall and place your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply while visualizing your unique energy as a brilliant light growing stronger within you. When this sensation peaks, draw a symbol in the air that represents your authentic essence. This becomes your sacred gesture. Use this gesture daily before engaging in your work, allowing your true energetic signature to flow unimpeded into all you create. Watch as your offerings begin attracting those who resonate with your authentic frequency, transforming not just what you provide, but the very field of prosperity around you. Chapter 17. The Mirror Principle of Financial Reflection. The merchant. Oliver stood before the strange mirror he'd discovered in an ancient shop, puzzled by its peculiar reflection. Instead of showing his physical form, the glass revealed swirling patterns of energy and thought, each directly connected to specific aspects of his business affairs. Where he expected to see his face, he witnessed his deeply held belief that wealth is a constant struggle, manifesting as the very obstacles plaguing his ventures. As he gazed deeper, the mirror revealed how his fear of success created the precise circumstances that kept his profits just below the threshold of true abundance. Each financial setback he'd experienced corresponded perfectly to a particular doubt or limiting belief held within his consciousness. The universe operates through exact spiritual laws, reflecting your inner state with flawless precision in the material realm. Your financial circumstances serve as a perfect mirror, revealing the exact frequency of your prosperity consciousness. When you encounter persistent patterns in your material affairs, you are witnessing the precise reflection of your internal programming. Charlotte discovered this truth when she inherited an unusual reflecting pool from her mystical aunt. At first, she thought nothing of the still waters in her garden. But one morning, as she gazed into its depths while contemplating her mounting debts, she noticed something extraordinary. The water showed not her face, but rather the web of thoughts and beliefs that had created her financial struggles. As Charlotte began consciously shifting these internal images, watching them transform in the pool's surface, her external circumstances changed in perfect correlation. Each positive adjustment in her inner vision manifested as a corresponding improvement in her material affairs, teaching her that the outer world must conform to inner reality. Your financial circumstances operate as this same kind of mystical mirror, offering precise feedback about your prosperity consciousness. Through the financial reflection inventory, you will map each aspect of your current monetary situation, tracing conditions back to their energetic source within you. Then, in daily mirror meditation, you will hold the vision and feeling of your desired prosperity, knowing the external must shift to match this new internal reality, for such is the immutable law of spiritual reflection. Chapter 18, The Sacred Geometry of Prosperous Relationships. In the bustling markets of an ancient city, Nicholas paced anxiously through his near-empty warehouse. Despite his tireless efforts, his business teetered on the edge of collapse. One evening, while searching through dusty archives for solutions, he discovered a weathered manuscript adorned with intricate geometric patterns. The text spoke of invisible lines of force connecting all beings, pathways through which wealth and abundance naturally flowed. The wisdom you now uncover mirrors Nicholas's discovery. Prosperity moves not through isolated efforts, but through the sacred geometry of relationships. Just as rivers follow natural courses carved into the earth, wealth flows through specific patterns of connection in your life. These patterns operate according to precise spiritual laws, creating channels through which abundance either flows freely or becomes constricted. You must understand that every relationship in your life either amplifies or diminishes your prosperity potential. Some connections form powerful conduits for wealth, while others create energetic blockages that no amount of individual effort can overcome. This explains why certain associations naturally lead to opportunities while others, despite apparent promise, repeatedly yield disappointment. Isabella's tale illuminates this truth further. Upon receiving an unusual compass from her grandmother, she noticed its needle responded not to magnetic north, but to the energetic quality of relationships. When pointed toward certain individuals or groups, the needle glowed golden. Toward others, it dimmed. Following its guidance, Isabella began forming connections that mysteriously accelerated her prosperity, while gracefully distancing herself from those that drained her resources. Through these ancient teachings, you now recognize that wealth manifestation extends beyond personal effort into the realm of energetic networks. Your financial reality reflects not just your individual consciousness, but the complex web of relationships through which abundance flows, or doesn't, in your life. To harness this wisdom, you will engage in the prosperity network mapping practice. Begin by creating a visual diagram of your key relationships, marking each connection with either gold or gray ink to indicate its effect on your abundance flow. Then, in a sacred ceremony, light a candle and visualize golden threads of light connecting you to those relationships that enhance your prosperity. With compassion, see the gray connections transforming or gently dissolving. Finally, establish a daily practice of directing appreciation through your wealth-supporting networks, strengthening these prosperous pathways through conscious attention and gratitude. Chapter 19. The Elemental Forces of Material Manifestation. In the shadow of ancient mountains, Daniel discovered a weathered manuscript that revealed the secrets of elemental manifestation. Each day at dawn, he would enter his laboratory, arranging crystals, feathers, candles, and vessels of pure spring water in precise geometric patterns. Through years of patient study, he learned that physical abundance emerged not through force, but through the harmonious orchestration of earth, air, fire, and water, the primordial forces that shape all creation. These elemental powers flow through your own manifestation process, though you may not yet recognize their subtle influence. Like Daniel, you must learn to work consciously with these forces, rather than allowing them to operate chaotically in your life. Each element governs a specific aspect of creation. Earth provides the foundation and form through which abundance manifests. Air carries the thoughts and visions that initiate creation. Fire transforms potential into actuality through passionate action, while water allows prosperity to flow through the channels of emotion and intuition. When you attempt manifestation using only one or two elements, you create temporary or incomplete results. Those who focus solely on practical action, earth, while neglecting vision, air, often find themselves trapped in endless doing without true advancement. Others who dwell in imagination, air, without engaging emotion, water, discover their dreams remaining ethereal rather than precipitating into form. True mastery requires the harmonious activation of all four elements in concert. Elizabeth's discovery deepens this understanding. In her grandmother's attic, she found an ornate wooden chest containing curious items: a polished obsidian sphere, an iridescent feather, a copper lamp, and a silver chalice. Through the accompanying grimoire, she learned these were elemental tools passed down through generations of prosperity adepts. As she worked with each implement in sequence, then together in sacred ceremony, her manifestations began occurring with surprising speed and stability. You now stand ready to work with these same forces through the elemental manifestation ritual. Begin by creating your own prosperity altar, placing upon its representations of each element: a stone or crystal for earth, a feather for air, a candle for fire, and a small vessel of water. Work with each element in turn, allowing its unique vibrational essence to infuse and amplify your prosperity intentions. Begin by holding your stone or crystal, feeling its solid weight as you ground your desires in practical form through Earth's stabilizing force. Next, lift the feather, letting its gentle movements clarify your vision through the realm of air, refining your intentions until they become crystal clear in your mind's eye. Light your candle and meditate upon its flame, allowing fire's transformative power to energize and vitalize your desires, burning away all doubts and resistance. Then take up your vessel of water, letting your emotions flow freely as you connect with the deep currents of abundance that surround you. When you have worked with each element individually, unite all four in a single sacred ceremony. Place your hands over the altar and feel the harmonious blend of earthly foundation, airy inspiration, fiery will, and flowing emotion. This complete circuit honors the full cycle of manifestation, bridging the gap between formless potential and physical reality. Through this ancient practice, you activate the elemental forces that have guided prosperity masters throughout the ages. Chapter 20. The Midnight Practices of the Wealthy Adept. In a remote monastery high in mist-shrouded mountains, Joseph discovered an ancient manuscript bound in weathered leather. Its chapters revealed a secret known to history's most prosperous individuals, that the hours before dawn held transformative power for those who understood its mysteries. These wealthy masters didn't achieve their fortunes through chance or mere effort, but through specific prosperity rituals performed in those sacred hours when night yields to day. The pre-dawn period, particularly between 3 and 5 in the morning, offers unique access to realms of consciousness typically veiled during waking hours. During this time, the collective mind slumbers, and the barriers between material and spiritual realms grow permeable. Your subconscious mind, ordinarily protected by layers of resistance and conditioning, becomes receptive to new patterns and possibilities. Those who have mastered abundance understand that this liminal time allows for direct programming of the prosperity field. The thoughts, intentions, and energetic signatures you establish during these threshold hours ripple throughout your day with minimal resistance, shaping circumstances and attracting opportunities that align with your pre-dawn programming. Margaret's story illuminates this principle through her inheritance of an unusual timepiece. This antique clock, crafted by an unknown artisan, would chime softly in the deepest part of night, awakening her precisely when the veil was thinnest. Following the guidance inscribed within its case, she began performing specific prosperity practices during these hours. Within weeks, her financial reality transformed. Unexpected opportunities emerged, resources flowed effortlessly, and abundance manifested with surprising speed. To access this deeper level of prosperity consciousness, you will engage in the Prosperity Vigil practice. Select at least one day each week to arise during the pre-dawn hours, between 3 and 5 in the morning. Create a dedicated sacred space, a corner of your home where you can sit undisturbed, illuminated only by candlelight. Begin with silent contemplation of abundance principles, allowing your mind to settle into receptive stillness. Then write in your prosperity journal as though your desired manifestations have already materialized, capturing the feeling of completion and gratitude. Finally, enter a state of receptive meditation, allowing the programming of this sacred time to integrate fully into your consciousness while collective resistance sleeps. This practice transcends ordinary manifestation work, reaching far beyond the surface-level techniques commonly discussed in modern circles. It opens hidden gateways to prosperity mastery that remain firmly sealed during the bustling daylight hours, when the collective consciousness creates barriers of doubt and limitation. Through consistent, devoted engagement with these pre-dawn principles, you align yourself with the ancient wisdom that has guided wealth creation throughout countless generations. The same timeless knowledge that enabled the merchant princes of old to build vast empires and the mystic sages to manifest abundance at will. This sacred practice connects you to an unbroken lineage of prosperity consciousness, allowing you to tap into the same eternal wellspring that has nourished abundance-minded souls since time immemorial. Part 3. Mastering the Divine Economy of Infinite Supply. Chapter 21. The Oracle Within. In the bustling markets of an ancient trading city, Richard stood among the ruins of his once thriving business. He had followed every expert's advice, heeded each carefully analyzed forecast, yet watched his wealth crumble despite his diligence. Wandering in despair through forgotten streets, he discovered an unmarked temple entrance. Within its depths, an ageless master revealed a truth that would transform his understanding of prosperity. The most reliable financial advisor already dwelled within his own consciousness. Through this master's guidance, Richard learned to silence the clamor of external opinions and attune to the subtle voice of his inner knowing. This wasn't mere intuition, but a direct connection to the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates all abundance in the universe. As he mastered this inner consultation, opportunities emerged that defied conventional analysis. While others remained blind to these possibilities, Richard's inner oracle guided him to wealth that surpassed his grandest previous ambitions. Your consciousness contains this same divine guidance system. Like a radio receiver perpetually tuned to the frequency of universal prosperity, it awaits only your recognition and trust. External financial advice, however logical, often fails because it cannot account for the unique path your soul has chosen for expressing and experiencing abundance. Clara's tale further illuminates this truth. Upon receiving a peculiar crystal from her grandmother's estate, she discovered it held no mystical powers of its own. Instead, it served as a focal point that amplified her natural connection to her own inner knowing. When facing financial decisions, Clara learned to sit quietly with the crystal, allowing her innate wisdom to surface. This guidance led her to investments and opportunities that experts overlooked yet proved remarkably profitable. To activate your own prosperity oracle, create a dedicated space for the oracle activation ceremony. Select an object that resonates with your spiritual nature, perhaps a crystal, a candle, or an ancient coin. Begin in meditation, visualizing a golden light descending through your crown chakra, illuminating the sacred chamber within where your inner oracle resides. Speak these words aloud. I now activate and acknowledge my direct connection to the infinite intelligence that governs all prosperity. I trust the guidance that flows through my consciousness, recognizing it as my divine birthright. Establish a daily practice of oracle consultation. Each morning, present specific questions about your financial path to this inner wisdom. Remain receptive to answers that may arrive as physical sensations, mental images, inner words, or simply knowing. Record these communications in a dedicated journal, building trust in this profound relationship with your inner prosperity guide. Chapter 22. Walking Between Worlds. Alexander moved silently through the marble halls of his bank each morning, appearing to others as merely another financial executive. Yet beneath this conventional facade, he practiced ancient techniques passed down through an unbroken lineage of prosperity adepts. These masters had discovered that wealth doesn't originate in ledgers or markets, but in an unseen dimension where all possibilities exist in fluid, unmanifested form. Through years of disciplined practice, Alexander developed the ability to perceive this subtle realm where financial events first take shape as energetic patterns. While his colleagues analyzed market trends and economic indicators, he learned to read the invisible currents of prosperity, addressing potential challenges before they solidified into physical circumstances. His seemingly prescient financial decisions mystified others, yet stemmed from his capacity to operate simultaneously in both worlds. The physical dimension, where most dwell, presents wealth as fixed and resistant to change. Yet this apparent solidity is merely the final stage of a process beginning in the formative realm, where abundance remains responsive to conscious intention. Those who master prosperity learn to shift their point of operation from the world of effects to the dimension of causes, where financial reality remains malleable to focused awareness. Helena discovered this truth through an unexpected gift, her grandmother's leather-bound journal, its chapters filled with precise instructions for moving between worlds. At first, the practices seemed strange. Exercises in shifting perception beyond physical senses, techniques for recognizing the energetic templates underlying material circumstances. Yet as she persisted, Helena found herself perceiving financial situations differently. Where once she saw only fixed problems, she now recognized energetic patterns that could be reshaped before manifesting as difficulty. Through daily practice, she learned to resolve challenges in their nascent state, addressing them as fluid possibilities rather than solid problems. Her financial reality transformed as she operated increasingly from this subtle dimension, watching with amazement as situations that once seemed hopeless dissolved when approached at their energetic source. The realm-shifting ritual opens this same capacity within you. Begin by sitting quietly in a dedicated space, allowing your attention to rest fully in physical sensation. Feel the weight of your body, the texture of your clothing, the sounds in your environment. Gradually withdraw awareness from these outer impressions, sensing instead the subtle energetic field that interpenetrates all physical form. Allow your perception to shift deeper still, until you directly cognize the causal dimension where prosperity first emerges from infinite potential. Practice this transition daily, extending the periods you maintain dual awareness of both the physical and subtle realms. As you deepen into this practice, you'll discover yourself naturally operating from this expanded perspective, addressing financial challenges while they still exist as malleable energy patterns. Where others see only concrete obstacles, you'll perceive the fluid dance of possibility, addressing situations at their energetic source, rather than struggling with their fully manifested effects in the material world. Like a master sculptor who sees the finished form within uncarved stone, you'll develop the ability to recognize and reshape prosperity patterns before they solidify into physical circumstances. In Chapter 23, The Ancestral Lineage of Abundance. William stood transfixed before the ancient parchment he'd discovered in his grandmother's attic. Unlike ordinary family trees that traced only names and dates, this mysterious chart revealed something far more profound: the invisible patterns of prosperity consciousness flowing through his lineage. Golden lines indicated relatives who had mastered abundance, while darker strands showed where limitation had taken root, passing from generation to generation like a subtle inheritance. Beyond mere financial circumstances, the chart illuminated the deeper energetic imprints carried in his bloodline. Some ancestors radiated powerful abundance codes waiting to be activated, while others bore the weight of scarcity beliefs that still influence the family's relationship with wealth. Through this revelation, William understood that his own financial patterns weren't merely personal. They were part of a vast tapestry woven through time. You too carry this multidimensional inheritance. Beyond the physical DNA transmitted through your biological lineage, you've received energetic imprints that shape your relationship with prosperity. These patterns flow from two distinct sources: your genetic ancestry and your spiritual lineage of prosperity masters, whose consciousness resonates with yours across the ages. Within your biological lineage lie both gifts and challenges around abundance. Some ancestors achieved remarkable prosperity through aligned consciousness, while others adopted beliefs of limitation that still influence your financial reality today. Yet you also belong to a spiritual bloodline, an unbroken chain of abundance masters whose wisdom and energy remain accessible to those who know how to connect with this timeless heritage. Sarah discovered this truth through her own journey with recurring financial patterns. Despite her best efforts, she found herself repeating the same struggles that had plagued her family for generations. Everything changed when she discovered an ancient ritual for direct communication with her ancestors. Through this ceremony, she was able to heal generational wounds around wealth while receiving forgotten wisdom that transformed her entire relationship with abundance. The ancestral prosperity reclamation opens this same possibility for you. Create a sacred space with photographs or symbols of your ancestors. Light a candle to represent the eternal flame of consciousness that flows through all generations. Begin by honoring your biological lineage, acknowledging their journey while compassionately releasing any patterns of lack they carried. Speak words of gratitude and release, allowing their limitations to dissolve in the light of your awareness. Then shift your focus to your spiritual prosperity lineage, those enlightened masters of abundance whose radiant consciousness calls to yours across the vast expanse of time and space. In the sacred stillness, invite their timeless wisdom and transformative energy to flow freely through you like a crystal-clear stream of divine knowing. Feel their luminous presence as a warm, golden light entering your crown chakra, cascading down through your entire being, awakening dormant codes of prosperity within every cell. Complete this profound ceremony by taking up your pen and writing a heartfelt letter to your descendants. Pour onto the page your vision of the new prosperity consciousness you now establish as their eternal inheritance. Write of the unlimited abundance, the infinite potential, and the divine birthright of prosperity that you awaken within your lineage. Let every word carry the power of your commitment to this transformation. This sacred document becomes your covenant, your unbreakable promise, with both your ancestors and the generations yet to come, permanently altering the very quantum DNA of abundance that flows through your spiritual and biological bloodline. Through this act of conscious creation, you become the bridge between past limitation and future possibility, transmuting generations of scarcity into an eternal legacy of prosperity. Chapter 24. The Quantum Vault of Infinite Possibility. Through the lens of advanced physics, Thomas had always sought to understand the deeper mechanics of reality. Yet it wasn't until he stumbled upon ancient quantum meditation techniques that he discovered something extraordinary. Consciousness could navigate between parallel streams of reality, where different versions of oneself existed simultaneously, each experiencing varying levels of prosperity. The implications shattered his previous understanding of manifestation. Through careful experimentation, Thomas found he could systematically align with increasingly abundant versions of his life, not by creating new circumstances, but by attuning to prosperity that already existed in parallel expressions of his being. This revelation mirrors a profound truth about the nature of abundance. All possible financial outcomes already exist within the quantum field of infinite potential. Like television channels broadcasting simultaneously, countless versions of prosperity await your conscious selection. The key lies not in forcing manifestation through effort and action, but in shifting your energetic frequency to naturally resonate with these pre-existing abundant realities. Emily discovered this truth when she encountered a mysterious crystalline pendant that showed her glimpses of parallel lives she could be living. At first, the visions seemed like mere possibilities, versions of herself experiencing greater prosperity, fulfillment, and abundance. Yet as she learned to systematically align with the energy signatures of these alternative expressions, Her external reality began transforming to match these higher possibilities. Through Emily's journey, we see that manifestation need not be a linear process of creating something from nothing. Instead, it becomes an exercise in quantum navigation, consciously selecting which version of prosperity you choose to experience from the infinite array already existing in the field of potential. The quantum prosperity jumping practice allows you to implement this understanding directly. Begin by sitting quietly and allowing yourself to sense the energy signature of your current financial reality. Then systematically explore the feeling states of progressively more abundant versions of yourself. Not imagining them, but tuning into their actual existing frequencies. Notice the subtle qualities that distinguish these parallel expressions. How does your most prosperous self carry themselves? What is the texture of their thoughts, the resonance of their energy field? Through daily practice, anchor your consciousness fully in this highest expression, not through effort or creation, but through simple recognition and alignment with what already is. This is not manifestation in the way most have come to understand it through conventional teachings, but rather a profound act of conscious selection from the vast, limitless field of infinite potential that surrounds you at every moment. The prosperity you seek, whether material abundance, deep fulfillment, or radiant well-being, already exists in its complete form, waiting in the quantum realm of possibility. Your sacred task is not to create these conditions anew, but to deliberately and systematically shift your attention, your vibration, and your energetic signature to align with that version of yourself who is already experiencing this abundance in all its glory. Chapter 25, The Secret Society of Time Benders. In the hushed halls of an ancient library, Michael discovered a weathered manuscript that would forever transform his understanding of wealth creation. The text revealed an astonishing truth. The world's most prosperous individuals through history shared membership in a secret fellowship that had mastered the art of temporal manipulation. These masters understood that time itself bent to consciousness, allowing them to compress decades of financial growth into mere months through precise alteration of their subjective experience. While others remained locked in rigid chronological progression, these adepts moved fluidly through time, accelerating or slowing their perception to seize opportunities invisible to those bound by conventional temporal limitations. Time, as you now understand it, exists not as an inflexible framework, but as a malleable energy responding directly to consciousness. When you operate from this expanded awareness, manifestations that might typically require years can materialize in days or weeks. Yet this acceleration occurs not through forcing or rushing, but through transcending the very construct of linear time itself. Notice how your anxiety about when things will manifest actually extends the period of their arrival. Your attachment to specific timelines creates resistance in the very fabric of temporal energy, while peaceful surrender to divine timing often causes remarkable compression of manifestation periods. Catherine discovered this truth when she inherited an unusual hourglass from her grandmother. Unlike ordinary timepieces, this artifact allowed her to experience time differently from those around her. As she learned to work with its mysteries, she found herself accomplishing in weeks what took others years on their path to prosperity. Opportunities appeared at precisely the right moment. Resources materialized with uncanny speed, and her entire financial reality transformed at a pace that seemed impossible to outside observers. Through Catherine's experience, we glimpse your own emerging ability to transcend conventional timing limitations as you awaken to the truth that time itself responds to consciousness just as readily as any other energy. You gain access to extraordinary manifestation acceleration. The manifestation time compression practice offers direct access to this mastery. Begin by establishing a daily period where you systematically alter your experience of time through specific breathing patterns and meditation. As you inhale, expand your awareness beyond linear progression. As you exhale, allow past, present, and future to merge into a unified field of infinite potential. From this expanded state, hold your desired prosperity as simultaneously complete in your future, actively unfolding in your present, and inevitable from your past. This collapse of linear time into a single point of power allows manifestation to occur with remarkable speed and grace, compared to conventional time-bound creation. Chapter 26, The Sovereign Declaration of Prosperity. Long before the rise of earthly kingdoms, a deeper truth about sovereignty and abundance awaited discovery. James found this revelation within an ancient scroll that detailed sacred ceremonies performed by royal lineages across time. These were not mere coronation rituals, but profound energetic declarations through which monarchs claimed their divine right to command their kingdom's prosperity. Yet this power, as James learned, belonged not exclusively to those of royal blood. The ceremony revealed a universal birthright, the authority to direct abundance through spiritual sovereignty. This authority requires no external validation, no permission from worldly powers. It flows from the divine essence within all beings, though few dare to claim it. When you understand this truth, you recognize how often you have surrendered your prosperity authority. Each time you question your worthiness to receive, each moment you defer to external experts about your financial destiny, you abdicate your sovereign right to command abundance. The universe awaits your awakening to this truth, that you need not beg for prosperity or strain to attract it. You need only claim it with the full authority of your spiritual identity. Eleanor discovered this truth when she found a collection of her ancestors' royal proclamations, sealed with the family crest. These weren't merely historical documents, but templates of sovereign authority. As she studied the language of these declarations, she recognized a profound pattern. Her royal ancestors never beseeched or pleaded for resources. They commanded them with absolute authority, knowing the universe itself must respond to their decree. Through these parchments, Eleanor learned to address the universal treasury not as a supplicant, but as one who holds divine right to direct its flow. Her declarations took on the tone of absolute knowing rather than hopeful wishing. The universe, recognizing this sovereign authority, responded with unprecedented abundance. The sovereign abundance decree awakens this same power within you. Create your formal prosperity proclamation using language that commands rather than requests. Stand in a position of power, spine straight, shoulders back, head held high. Speak your decree aloud with the full emotional force of one who knows their divine authority. By divine right and sovereign decree, I command the infinite abundance of the universe to flow through my life in ever-increasing measure. As one who holds authority over prosperity in all its forms, I direct the universal treasury to yield its abundance through all channels aligned with my highest good. This I decree with absolute authority, and so it must be. Seal your declaration with a deliberate physical action that embodies your sovereign authority, perhaps pressing an ornate ring into molten wax as the ancient rulers did, striking a ceremonial bell 3 times to echo your command through the ethers, or placing your right hand over your heart center while extending your left palm upward to receive. Let each gesture be performed with the gravitas of one who understands their divine birthright. Repeat this decree at sunrise and sunset, standing before a mirror or sacred space, not as a supplicant who merely hopes or wishes, but as one who knows with unwavering certainty their divine and absolute right to command prosperity's boundless flow. Feel the weight of generations of sovereign wisdom flowing through your voice as you speak, knowing that the universal treasury must respond to your royal authority. Chapter 27. The Mystical Science of Exponential Increase. In a hidden chamber beneath an ancient library, Frederick traced his fingers over mathematical symbols etched into weathered scrolls. As a mathematician, he had spent years studying numerical patterns, yet these scrolls revealed something that transcended ordinary calculation. Within their faded markings lay the secret language of natural increase, the same patterns that governed how shells spiraled, galaxies formed, and consciousness itself evolved. The scrolls spoke of a profound truth. Wealth, like all natural phenomena, follows precise mathematical principles of expansion. Most seek prosperity through simple addition, trading time for money, accumulating bit by bit. Yet nature knows a higher mathematics. A single seed doesn't add leaves one by one. It unfolds through geometric progression, each stage multiplying what came before. Through these ancient formulas, Frederick discovered why some seem to attract abundance with supernatural ease, while others struggle despite endless effort. Those who master wealth operate not by human arithmetic, but by divine mathematics, the sacred ratios through which all abundance in the universe expands. In a distant city, Josephine sat puzzling over a strange ledger inherited from her grandmother. Its entries followed no conventional accounting principle, yet they increased in mysterious proportions. Numbers flowed in spiraling patterns that at first glance appeared random. But as she studied these sequences, recognition dawned. The proportions matched exactly the mathematical harmonies found in nautilus shells, pine cones, and the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the sacred geometry of natural growth. As Josephine learned to align her consciousness with these self-multiplying patterns, her own prosperity began expanding, not by addition, but by multiplication. Opportunities arose not one by one, but in cascading sequences, each success spawning multiple new possibilities like a forest spreading from a single seed. This wisdom lies dormant within you now, waiting to transform your relationship with abundance. The same divine mathematics that orchestrates the cosmos can revolutionize your prosperity consciousness, shifting you from linear to exponential increase. Through the exponential abundance activation, you will work directly with the golden spiral, nature's blueprint for infinite expansion. Begin by creating or obtaining a physical representation of this sacred pattern, perhaps drawing the spiral yourself with reverent attention, or selecting an object from nature that embodies it, like a nautilus shell or unfurling fern. Each day, find a quiet space where you can enter deep meditation, allowing your consciousness to trace these eternal curves. Feel yourself flowing through the spiral's graceful expansion, each turn widening your awareness of abundance's infinite potential. As you journey through these sacred geometries, plant your financial intentions not as rigid endpoints but as living seeds of perpetual growth. Know with unwavering faith that these aspirations will blossom and multiply according to the same divine mathematics that guides the unfurling of flower petals, the branching of trees, and the sacred dance of galaxies spiraling through the cosmos. Chapter 28. The Philosopher's Stone. In a forgotten archive deep within an ancient university, Edward traced his fingers along weathered manuscripts that spoke not of material transformation, but of an extraordinary state of being. These texts revealed that generations of seekers had misunderstood the philosopher's stone, searching for a physical substance when the true power lay in a specific quality of consciousness. The ancient texts spoke of an internal alchemy that, once achieved, granted the power to transmute any circumstance through attention alone. Just as a master alchemist transforms base metals into gold, this elevated state of consciousness naturally converts situations of apparent lack into abundant opportunity. Through these manuscripts, Edward discovered why some individuals seem to generate prosperity from even the most challenging circumstances, while others remain trapped in scarcity despite favorable conditions. Those who master abundance operate not through external manipulation, but through internal alchemy. Their consciousness itself becomes the philosopher's stone that transforms everything it touches. In a small coastal town, Victoria sat examining her grandfather's leather-bound journal. Its chapters contain no ordinary diary entries, but detailed alchemical instructions that at first appeared to describe complex chemical processes. Yet as she studied these writings, understanding dawned. The cryptic formulas described stages of internal transformation that, when completed, awakened an extraordinary power, the ability to transmute financial circumstances through focused awareness alone. As Victoria followed her grandfather's encoded guidance, she experienced her consciousness becoming the very stone of transformation the ancient alchemists sought. Situations that once appeared as fixed limitations dissolved and reformed into opportunities for abundance, transformed not by external action, but by the mere touch of her attention. This wisdom awakens within you now, inviting you to become the living Philosopher's Stone. Through the Philosopher's Stone embodiment, you will subject a specific financial challenge to the complete alchemical sequence. Begin with calcination, burning away false appearances through unflinching observation. Move to dissolution, allowing rigid mental structures around this situation to break down. Through separation, identify and remove non-essential elements clouding your perception. In conjunction, recombine the purified elements into new understanding. Introduce fresh energy through fermentation, purify the essence through distillation, and finally, through coagulation, allow the transformed reality to crystallize in material form. Document each stage of this inner alchemy meticulously in your spiritual journal, observing how your heightened consciousness becomes the sacred stone of the wise ones. Watch in reverent wonder as each financial circumstance you encounter transforms through the mere touch of your awakened presence, like base metal turning to gold beneath an alchemist's hand. This profound metamorphosis requires no complex ritual or elaborate technique, only your pure, unwavering awareness as you witness the eternal laws of transmutation expressed through your being. The very act of observing with this elevated consciousness becomes the catalyst for transformation, as though your attention itself carries the legendary power of the Philosopher's Stone, turning the lead of limitation into the gold of infinite possibility. Chapter 29. Transcending the Final Veils of Limitation. In the quiet halls of an ancient monastery, Samuel sat in deep contemplation of the mysterious forces that seemed to resist his spiritual progress. Despite years of dedicated practice and remarkable success in manifesting abundance, he encountered inexplicable setbacks just when his mastery appeared complete. Through silent meditation and surrender, Samuel discovered these apparent obstacles were not failures, but initiatory gateways, subtle tests designed to reveal his remaining attachments to specific forms of abundance. Each challenge invited deeper surrender, integrity, and transcendence of the very prosperity principles he had mastered. These final veils often manifest as financial challenges, precisely when consciousness seems most aligned with abundance. Like a master sculptor removing the finest layers to reveal perfect form, These tests expose the subtlest attachments that prevent complete freedom in your relationship with universal supply. In a distant valley, Amelia stood before her meditation altar, puzzling over recent financial reversals that defied explanation. Her prosperity practices remained impeccable, her consciousness steadfastly aligned with abundance, yet circumstances seemed to conspire against her material success. Through deep introspection, Amelia recognized these challenges as the legendary dark night of the financial soul, a phase of purification that precedes complete mastery. Rather than regressing to old patterns of fear and control, she embraced these apparent setbacks as opportunities to surrender her remaining attachments to how abundance should appear. This wisdom now illuminates your path through similar initiatory thresholds. These final tests reveal not failure, but readiness for complete liberation from the matrix of limitation. Each challenge invites you to release subtle attachments to form, timing, and control, while maintaining unwavering faith in the infinite supply that manifests through endless channels. The final veil dissolution practice guides you through this ultimate surrender. In sacred space, identify your subtlest attachments to specific forms and timelines of abundance. Write these limitations on small papers, recognizing how each restricts the unlimited flow of prosperity. Through sacred ceremonial burning, consciously release these written symbols of limitation into the transforming flames, maintaining crystal clear intention while embracing complete and total surrender to divine timing and perfect form. As you watch each paper turn to ash, feel yourself letting go of every need to direct or control the flow of abundance. Enter fully into the vast emptiness that remains, that pristine, infinite space of pure potential from which unlimited abundance naturally emerges, untainted by personal preferences, expectations, or the ego's desperate grasp for control. In this holy void, you stand ready to receive prosperity in its highest expression through whatever divine channels the universe deems most appropriate for your highest good. Chapter 30. The Eternal Dance with Divine Supply. In the quiet gardens of an ancient temple, Benjamin stood contemplating the vast wealth he had manifested. His mastery of prosperity principles had yielded remarkable results, yet something deeper called to him. Through extended meditation, he discovered that true mastery lay not in reaching a final destination, but in cultivating an eternal, ever-evolving relationship with the infinite source of abundance. Your journey now reveals this profound truth. Prosperity consciousness cannot remain static, for the universe itself continuously expands. Just as a river never contains the same water twice, your relationship with abundance must flow and evolve beyond any fixed understanding or achievement. Many who achieve significant wealth eventually stagnate, their prosperity becoming a golden cage rather than a gateway to greater expansion. They grasp tightly to particular expressions of abundance, forgetting that true mastery requires maintaining the beginner's mind, an openness to endless discovery and evolution in the prosperity journey. In a distant mountain sanctuary, Charlotte discovered an ornate music box unlike any other. Rather than repeating a memorized tune, it played an ever-changing melody that never repeated itself. As she listened deeply, she understood. Prosperity flows not to those who rigidly follow fixed formulas, but to those who learn to dance with the ever-evolving rhythms of divine supply. This wisdom illuminates your graduation from seeking specific manifestations to embracing an eternal partnership with the living intelligence of abundance. Like a dance that continuously unfolds new movements, your relationship with prosperity must remain fluid, responsive, and ever-expanding. Through the infinite supply communion, You establish regular meetings with abundance as a living presence rather than an abstract principle. In sacred space, engage in direct dialogue through meditation, automatic writing, or contemplative inquiry. Ask not merely for specific manifestations, but seek with an open heart the deeper revelation of how your relationship with divine supply yearns to evolve. Like water finding new paths down a mountainside, let your understanding flow into unexplored territories. Through quiet contemplation, release your grip on familiar concepts of prosperity, allowing them to dissolve like morning mist, making space for profound new wisdom to emerge. This sacred communion transcends all known techniques and formulas, for it is a living, breathing partnership with the infinite. As you surrender your current understanding, watch how the universe responds with insights beyond your previous imagination. Trust that each release of the old creates a vacuum into which greater abundance wisdom naturally flows, expanding your consciousness in ways that your current self cannot yet fathom. Feel yourself becoming a clear channel through which divine supply can express itself in ever more magnificent ways, knowing that this eternal partnership grows richer and deeper with each surrender, each question, and each moment of sacred communion. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. As you close these final chapters, a profound stillness descends, a sacred silence that marks not an ending, but a threshold crossed. Through these ancient teachings, you have undergone an initiation that reaches far beyond intellectual understanding. Each principle, each practice, each revelation has worked its alchemical transformation within your consciousness, awakening dormant capacities for receiving and expressing abundance that will continue unfolding in ways you cannot yet imagine. The journey from spiritual seeker to abundance master represents a sacred passage, yet this completion opens into an even greater beginning. Like a seed that has finally broken through to sunlight, the wisdom you have integrated now enters a phase of perpetual expansion. The teachings continue their work within you, deepening and evolving with each passing day. Your greatest calling now lies not in possessing this knowledge, but in embodying it so completely that your very presence transmits these truths to others. Through your aligned state of being, you become a living testament to the principles of energetic wealth, a walking demonstration that abundance flows not from outer circumstances, but from inner attunement to universal supply. As an initiated keeper of these sacred teachings, you carry a profound responsibility to allow prosperity consciousness to flow through you unobstructed, touching a world still struggling under the weight of perceived limitation. Your mastery will be measured not by what you acquire, but by how your prosperity creates waves of transformation, awakening others to their own divine inheritance of unlimited abundance. The universe now responds to you differently, not because you have learned to manipulate energy, but because you have become the very frequency of abundance itself. Like the philosopher's stone of ancient legend, your consciousness now transmutes everything it touches, revealing the golden potential hidden within all circumstances. Know that material wealth will indeed pursue you, yet this represents merely the outer reflection of a far greater treasure, the direct knowing that unlimited abundance is not simply your potential, but your fundamental nature, your birthright, your true identity unveiled. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.